Hello my dear friends. The sun is coming through slowly but hopefully surely. Let's see. Let me just see whether it's clever. Yeah, let me turn here. Cvijiceva Street, one of the main arteries of the, let's say, so I don't know whether to judge it as northern part of Belgrade, but we are now more or less parallel with the Danube. Danube is, okay, not maybe so close because maybe 1 kilometer from this position, something like. Left from us is also the Pioneer Sports Hall, one of the biggest, actually the biggest after Belgrade Arena. There is also ice hall for ice hockey and ice skating. But we'll be turning into Belgradska Street. Actually, in this part it is called differently. And in front of us the building of, okay, now it's Poštanska štedionica, but essentially Inter-Export, I believe, used to be the big, not big, but extremely big company dealing with all the, there were only few companies in ex-Yugoslavia at certain stage dealing with import and export activities, and all the knowledge about such business was concentrated here. So all the socially owned companies that were practically dealing with the import and export were referring to one of these three companies to do it on a service practically basic. Starina Novaka is the name of the street here in this stage, and then it turns to Belgradska Street a bit after. I mean, the name switches to Belgradska. Let us go straight ahead. And again, now we are approaching the Tašmajdan Sports Center, now from the different direction. In the previous video I was coming from the left and then passing to the right, and now we are crossing completely under 90 degrees from that line. And again, now right is the big Tašmajdan Park, left small one, and we are again approaching the boulevard of King Alexander, one of the busiest boulevards in Belgrade. Maybe a few more lessons from the history. History will teach us nothing. Not quite true. The year was 1923. Oh, the traffic light is off. Wow. The traffic policemen are regulating traffic. 1923, Ottoman Empire, actually modern Turkey, has been converted from the practically monarchy or sultanate to the republic, and the first president of the republic was Mustafa Kemal, later on known as the Ataturk or Kemal Ataturk. Ataturk meaning the father of all Turks. He was the great character, I have to say. He saved not the the Ottoman Empire, because it was beyond salvation, but it at least saved the Turkey in the borders as we know it today, because the great powers, once the Balkan nations fought their way to freedom against the Ottoman Empire, and when the Ottoman Empire lost most of their territories, and especially after the First World War, when the remainings of the Ottoman Empire have joined the Axis forces, I mean Germany and Austro-Hungarian Empire. Then the great powers after the First World War, especially also because of the Battle of Gallipoli, where so many Western soldiers were slaughtered practically. Then after the war, the great powers wanted to tear apart the Ottoman Empire, but the person who was standing, and they practically influenced the Sultan to sign some agreements that were not so positive for the Ottoman Empire. Mustafa Kemal took things into his own hands and managed to defend the today's territory of modern Turkey. Now, unfortunately, and he was, historically speaking, he was one of my favorite guys, I have to say. Although we do not belong to the same religion, but what he did for his country is really, one has to admire it. What he also did, because the Turkey was back then facing with also significant financial difficulties, he analyzed and the strong deficit in the foreign exchange balance. He realized that the Turks are drinking a lot of coffee, black coffee, and that a lot of money is being wasted for the import of such coffee. So what he did, he analyzed what Turkey can produce as instead of coffee, because the Turks definitely, because of the temperatures and everything, they tend to drink a lot of fluid. And what he did, he just declared one day that as of that day the import of coffee will be banned, and that as of that moment the Turks will be drinking apple tea instead. And now if you visit Turkey, everybody, all the shops and similar stuff will be serving you instant apple tea. And that way he managed, and because here in Serbia we have an expression for black coffee that it is a Turkish coffee, especially when it is prepared the way we prepare it, the old-fashioned style, with not the espresso version, not the presto version, definitely not the instant or the American version, but very tasty cooked coffee. And we still call it Turkish coffee, but when you go to Turkey you realize that there is no such thing anymore. Okay, now there is actually, because of the tourists, they do it again, I mean the old-fashioned style. But I believe that the Serbs probably are the only other nation that this type of coffee we call the black coffee we call Turkish coffee. Okay, now in front of Čuburski Park, we are at Vračar again, back to Vračar. Cara Nikolaja Street is in front of us. We'll be crossing it just in a moment. That much for now. Bye and thanks for watching.